Welcome to Magic CSC by Eezytutorials. To watch the same content in Tamil, click the link in the description box. We are going to see the introduction about SQL. So in the previous videos, we have already seen the basic terminologies. Here we are going to have a quick recap on few terminologies. So we will be storing the data in the tabular format. So as per concern with DBMS, we will be storing all the data in the tabular format. So here you can have a name, phone number, register number, whatever it is you'll be having. So each and every entity is called data. You'll be storing it in the tabular format. Each rows you will be calling it as a record or a tuple. So every column you'll be calling as field or attribute. So group of fields and tuples together will form the table. So the technical term for table is relation. So here I'm having student details, register number, name, phone number, like that I'm having all the data information. So roll number is a field, name is a field, phone number is a field. So if I'm considering a particular row, so the details of Alex is given by this row. So you call this as tuple. A single row is called as a tuple or record. So this is called fields and tuples, and fields and tuples together forms a table. The technical name for table is relation. So this is a student detail. So like this, you can have many tables, many relations. So many relations together or stored in a single under a single unit means you call that unit as a database. So database will be having many relations or many tables. And if the tables are connected by common columns, you call that as relational database. For example, here I am having an employee table. Here I am having all the employee details. Along with that, I am having department ID. So the details of the department will be separately stored in a separate department table. So here department ID is the common column which is relating the employee table and department table. So if you are having many tables and you are having common columns or common fields across the table, you call them as a relational database. So there are many relational database vendors who are available, and if you are storing data in this format, you have to know certain commands and certain language to interact with them, and that language is called as SQL, structured query language. So you are storing data in a structured way, and you want to interact with the stored database. That is, you have to communicate with that. So you use a language called as structured query language. So language means it is a thing for communication, right? So for communicating with the structured storage, you use a language called structured query language. So SQL stands for structured query language. It is a language used for communicating with the database. So you can either access or manipulate the content of the data. You can retrieve data from that. Whatever you want, you can do with that. So you are having a particular language. So this is an English-like language with certain rules. So if you are typing this, you'll be getting this like that. You'll be having the language. So we are going to learn this SQL, structured query language. From 1980, I think 86 or 87, they have announced that SQL comes under ANSI standard. So this is an ANSI standard. So we are going to learn SQL. What are the things you can do with SQL is you can store the data in the database, and whatever you want you can execute query against the database. So if you want to retrieve some information from the database, you can write a query. If you want to insert a record, or you want to update a tuple, you want to delete a tuple, you can do it with this SQL. Then if you want to create a new table, new database, you can use this SQL. Then there are advanced concepts like procedures, sequence, views, and so on. We'll be learning that if possible in this lecture series, and you'll be able to set permissions and manage the database as well as the tables. So the next terminology which you have to know is SQL commands, queries, and class. So command means that these are instruction with which you will be communicating with the database. You are having standard, you can categorize SQL commands into 5 types. In a standard way, you can tell there are 5 types of SQL commands. We'll be seeing that in the next lecture. So you'll be performing certain tasks with the help of this SQL commands, and under SQL commands you'll be having a concept called query. So query means you are requesting the database to retrieve some information. You want to get some information. You want to retrieve some information means you use a statement and you can call it as query. Inside the query there are many parts. So that parts are called classes. So classes means that is an inbuilt function. It will be doing some work with the table. So you call that as classes, and example for classes are from, where, group by, order by, having, like that many classes we are having. We'll be learning each of the queries and each of the classes in the upcoming lecture series. So whenever you're typing an English like instruction, that is a query or a SQL command, that will be processed by a query language processor. The query processor or query engine also you can call it otherwise. So it will be processing the query and you'll be having a DBMS engine that will be actually communicating with the original database where it is stored physically. With that it will be communicating and it will be giving you the result. You call the result as result set. There are many vendors who are providing you with the RDBMS. The famous one which is widely used is Oracle. So you are also having MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, IBM DB2, SQLite, Microsoft Access, MariaDB, Hive, Azure SQL, like that many vendors are providing many different types of RDBMS. So the concept is same. If you are trying to develop any application, whether it is a desktop application or it is a mobile app, whatever app you are trying to do, you have to store your data and you have to obviously have a backend for that. So one widely used backend is this relational database, and it is mandatory for a developer to know the basics of this SQL. So you have to know how to work with the backend. So if you want to be a developer, that too if you are trying to be a full stack developer, this SQL is very much important. So in the forthcoming lecture series, we'll be seeing the concepts of this SQL. So the next video will be seeing the SQL command types, and we'll be seeing each command types one by one with demo, hands-on demo. We'll be doing that. So stay tuned to Eezytutorials. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this video. Kindly like, share and subscribe. Do post your valuable comments. Check for useful links in the description box. For more technical videos, stay tuned to Magic CSC by Eezytutorials. Thank you.